convinced that it's Austin from selling the OC. And Emma has said none of this is true. And she's explained, like, this came from a client asked me out 2 years ago and I turned him down. And what do you think about all of
Yeah.
this?
I think that sometimes when you're on TV, people throw daggers at each other. And unfortunately, when you have a big platform, you can throw a dagger at someone. And even if it's not true, you still have to deal with backlash, no matter what. I think that it's a very ugly thing to be spread about someone, especially if it's not true. It's very harmful and hurtful. But also, these things come with the territory. When you put yourself in the public, someone, whatever they say can get taken out of context, and it happens every day. And, I think hurt can come from maybe feeling like producers or people don't have your back by them not giving you a heads up, maybe. But I don't know. I can't comment. I met Emma once. She probably really doesn't like me now, but she was lovely to me and she was really nice when we filmed before. So who's to say what she's doing? I don't know. I mean, she was engaged before and I don't really know anything about her personal life in that way. But I think it's a very damaging thing to say about someone, especially if it's a baseless claim. Like, we don't know. I go on TV and say someone like is purple, green, blue, gray. And if you say it, people are still going to think, even if it's obviously not true, they'll think, is it true? Because we're flawed. And that's what humans do. So that part just sucks, but I think it comes with it.
That makes a lot of sense too. Well, the finale of this season was this scene between you and Bree, and she brings you into the Oppenheim group, and there you are, and we see, you and this and that, and we're waiting for Jason, and where's Jason? And she wants you to talk to him. Like, is this a fake scene? I mean, it feels set up as a viewer. Is it real? Like, did you ever speak to Jason?
No, I never spoke to Jason that day. I've met him in person, but that was separate. It was just like a birthday party for someone. I'm only doing where production is calling me to go and telling me where to go. They tell me we're filming a lunch, I'm filming a lunch. If I'm filming in the office, then I'm in the office. So everything that was done was orchestrated by production. So they brought me to the office. We can't request anything where we're going to film unless we're picking a property, and they also have to approve it. So was it set up? Maybe, probably to keep people hanging, like, is she joining? Is she not? Like, what's going on? And it does make it kind of end suspenseful. Like, what does that mean? And, it's ending like a movie. Like, I feel like it just adds to the suspense.
They love to end on a cliffhanger, this Adam DeVello and
Exactly.
Selling Sunset. I mean, would you, if the phone rings and they're like, okay, you need to leave Nest Seekers and you need to come over here. And I mean, your storyline does lend you to come into this office and into this group. They love changing casts on this show.
Mm-hmm. I will keep my options open the same way I always have. So we'll see. Who knows? I really so much is going on. Like, I work all the time, so I'm very focused on real estate. I just got a $70 million listing in Carpinteria that I'm focused on right now. So I keep my options open. If they call and ask me to join the show, I guess we'll just have to stay tuned for the next season to see what happens.
Is 70 million your largest listing? And who isn't this next to an actor? Where did I read this?
Yes. Yep, it's my largest one. I'm so excited. It's a trophy property. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity for someone to buy and live this life where our seller has lived and grown up, and they can just create whatever they want. So it's an incredible property. It has over 1.1 acres of private beach. Your neighbors are Ellen DeGeneres, Kevin Costner, Travis Barker. So it's a very special property. So yes, it's my biggest one and I cannot wait to sell it. It's definitely priced to sell.
Travis Barker, and I assume Kourtney Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashians in that family.
I hope they come walking down my private beach. Say
That would
hello.
not be bad, right? Well, I'm glad you're
Yeah,
keeping
it's right next to Kevin.
That's nice. I'm glad you're keeping your options open for the future of Selling Sunset, but what about, we talked about like Nicole and Emma, like what do you think of, Chrishell has come out and said, I absolutely will never work with Nicole again. I will not return to this show. If she returns, she then went on to talk about production and had some things to say about Adam DeVello and is just like, shame on you for not telling Emma, and I'm done. I'm out. I mean, do we believe Chrishell?
I don't know. I think everybody has their limits that they can take, and people don't realize the stress that comes with filming shows like this. If you're running a real business and then you have to film every day, you're filming with people that you don't necessarily like, that you wouldn't be around in real life. It's on TV, so it's dramatized. So maybe she wants to move on. I mean, that's everyone has to kind of make that decision for themselves. So I don't know her again, so I can't speak for her, but I do see that it gets pretty ugly between them. And I think that it becomes very toxic. And living in a toxic environment every day when you're trying to work and achieve and things like that, sometimes you have to realize like where is it giving, you know?
I do know because, like, when you're a real estate agent or broker, you're actually making real money. And anything you do to film the show, although it is tied to your business, like, it does take away from, and it's the same thing in what I do. I get called for, like, these fun things. And I'm like, if I'm not sitting behind this microphone, technically, whatever I'm doing is making me less money. So, although that's wonderful and sexy and could have an upside, I get it. So, I would imagine, like, all the hours filming the show are taking away from actually selling a $70 million property.
Absolutely. But listen, when you're a hustler, you're going to do what you have to do. If I'm filming a show, I'll be texting over here. I'll be muting the microphone to call my clients. Business is always going to come first, because contractually, I'm obligated to do my best for the person. So nothing comes before that.
That's good. What about, do you think the future of this show, like, look, I don't know if you watch Housewives or Bravo, but in Real Housewives of New York, season 13, it was very,
Love it.
you love it. You love
I
Housewives.
love the drama, honey. I watch it all. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV, but of course, I watch The Housewives. Like, come on now. Have to.
Well, you will have to come back and dish on the Housewives here. But, like Real Housewives of New York, season 13, it was very filled with a lot of, issues no one wanted to talk about. And then they didn't have a reunion. And last season of Real Housewives of New Jersey, I don't know if you watch New Jersey, it got so toxic that they didn't have a reunion because they were afraid of, and now we have Selling Sunset, which apparently is so toxic that they're not having a reunion. Like, things didn't work out for the cast of Real Housewives of New York. New Jersey is on hold at this point and may not work out. Like, should the cast be worried? I mean, every time there seems to be no reunion, it doesn't end well for the current cast.
I don't think they should be worried. I don't think so. I think that production is driving this animal and they're doing with it what they think is the most strategic. So they're doing their job to the best of their ability. I think there's a lot of anger, animosity, hurt, and people fighting each other right now within the group. So maybe, even though it might be fun for people to watch, it might be too intense for the cast and the people with the timing of it. So many girls threatening to quit, people really not getting along. So I think maybe waiting a little bit and then them figuring out how they're going, because it's a business. I'm thinking of it like a business always. That's just how I'm thinking of it, not like a spectator. I'm like playing in the field. So I'm thinking about it the way that they're putting it together. So for them strategically, it's probably best to wait and then kind of keep people wondering what's going to happen with the cast. And then also for them to figure it out, because I feel like for them, things are probably up in the air too. There's a lot going on between everyone. So I think that's probably why they're waiting. It will make the season more interesting to watch when people wait. They'll be waiting on the edge of their seats to see what's going on. So they know what they're doing.
I agree. I always think of it like a business. I mean, these are all real people, but I also know how it's made and how it works. And it's always like, whoever the favorite is, it doesn't matter. It's all a business decision. Like, if someone becomes too difficult to work with, they're not going to be back. It's like there's so many factors that go into this. They're there to make money, period, the end.
And I mean, there might be favorites, but truly everyone is replaceable. You really are. Like, everyone's replaceable. We're all going to die one day and life's going to go on. So you quitting a show or joining a show, this in real life